Welcome to the PSNORKIS podcast, a show with real topics discussed by real people with real opinions and tempered with a real sense of humour. Now here are your two PSNORKISers. Or is it PSNORKI? Screw it. Here are your hosts, Dr. Myke and the Madman.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by
welcome back, my fellow PSNORKI. Now, this is sort of like part two of the one you just heard or heard last week. We're not sure how we're going to put it out. We put it out as a big, long one. We might put it out as two parts. I don't know, but we're sort of picking up where we left off. My wife, Petey, our producer, she had to go into work for a couple of hours, so she's not with us, but everybody else is still here, including Doc.
Hey, man, what's going on?
How you doing, bud?
Doing good. Let's keep this going.
My God, dude, it's been, what, 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels
everybody.
like forever. Exactly.
Yeah. It's good to be back.
Miss Kitty.
Hello, my darlings.
And, of course, our rebel.
Greetings and salutations out there.
So when we left off, which in real time for us was about, like I said, 10, 15 minutes ago. For you guys, it might have been
a week.
2 minutes ago or a week. We're not sure how we're going to do it yet. We may break it up. But anyway, we were coming off of Rebel's bad dates.
Rebel's dating horror stories, of which there are many.
Yeah, we should have some dating tips by Rebel. What
Yeah,
do you think?
that could be a segment for the show.
I
yes.
absolutely can do that. I would like to gear my advice both towards men in terms of what to put on your profile so you actually get matches instead of ignored. And for women, in terms of here are a bunch of red flags that I once ignored, and I learned how red they were.
I am truly so fortunate, happy, call it what you will, that I have never had to, as I like to say, and take no offense to this, my friend, resort to online dating.
No, like I said, it's something I do when I'm bored,
and
I'm ready for fresh people
and yet
to
there are a
punish.
couple times when I was single. This did actually exist, and I look
Not
and
as
wonder,
heavy. Not
but
as heavy as it is now.
right,
Yeah.
and I just kind of wonder. Well, I wonder, and I'm like, I like literally meeting people and talking to them, not exchanging emails. Not
Exchanging rocket pictures.
pictures of rockets, right?
Jeff
Whatever.
Bezos, rocket.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. It's a nice jingle. I like that. Do it again.
It's instead of Hot Pocket, it's rocket.
Wow. There goes another sponsor.
Both
You guys are killing me.
Disappointing
You guys are
in
killing
different
me.
ways.
I'll just take
Neither
that off the
contain
list.
real meat.
Oh, my goodness
Oh,
gracious.
wow. Here we go.
Neither would be FDA
Yeah,
approved.
there goes spam. Can't get them now.
Hey, I will
know,
defend spam.
Yeah, me too,
I like
dude.
spam.
I will
I'm a
defend spam
big
forever.
spam fan.
Spam, first off, is
Yeah,
fantastic,
spam,
and it's also a very
spam,
common food in a lot of
spam,
Hawaiian
spam,
cooking.
Spam. Keep going. Spam,
You're having a good moment there.
spam,
I love
spam,
spam. Frankly, one of my favorite childhood memories is the eating and making of a spam sandwich. There was a very precise recipe that I swear by, even now as an adult. So you take, obviously, the can of spam, you wiggle it out. There's
Wiggle
a lot
out.
of this
Jelly.
motion.
A lot of what motion?
A lot of this motion.
Whoa.
Rocket. to get the meat out of the can.
That's not meat. That's not
The question meat.
meat. Oh, my goodness.
Usually when you take your meat out of the can, you have to wipe it off first. But
Well, not with
will
spam. Not with this spam, man. Sloppy, the sloppier the better.
Oh, this just went so downhill.
That's because spam is moist.
Oh, this, gee.
Very slippery meat.
Wow. See what happens when we have Rebel.
So you take
talk
the
about
spam
anything.
out of the can. You got to shake it out of the can.
That's a visual for
You got to
everyone
shake
involved.
weight it out of the can.
Germany, UK,
Vigorously.
and Canada. You should see the motion
Vigorous
of jerking
shake
it out
weighting
of
it out of the can. And then you slice
they're not as
two.
hung up about stuff like
They're
that.
really
No,
not.
they're
No,
not.
they're
As
really
this
not.
sense of humor as we are
Yes.
here.
That's true.
So
That's true.
probably why they love
More
us.
open, yeah.
So you have to take two precise, exact slices. You want them to be even because otherwise, when you sit them on the bread, your sandwich is going to look stupid.
I hate that. I hate
That
a
really
stupid.
irritates me.
I hate a stupid looking
Exactly.
sandwich.
Yeah.
So you take it and you put it in the microwave for 30 seconds. Then you take it out and you put a slice of American cheese on the spam. While this is occurring, you toast the bread because when the bread comes out toasted, you need to butter both pieces of the
I'm
bread.
getting hungry.
Yeah.
Then you assemble it. Bread, spam,
Spam.
bread.
Oh,
Butter
American
side.
cheese.
Well, the American cheese is already on
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. So then you top it with the part of the bread, the
Why
other
is it
piece of
got to
the
be
bread.
American cheese? Just wondering.
Because it's just a sloppy, cheap cheese.
All right, floppy cheese.
Yeah,
Sloppy
and
cheap
believe it or
meat
not,
for
not
sloppy.
cheese.
cheddar has its own
American
flavor
cheese is
profile
not
that
cheese.
will
It wants
fight
to
with the
pretend it's
spam,
cheese.
whereas the American cheese will just like blend in.
Complement it.
So you
Yeah,
put the
yes.
government
And
cheese on
then,
there.
and then
Oh, I like the
the
cheese,
key
actually.
piece de la resistance.
Uh-oh.
You
Lettuce.
slice. No.
No.
Are you
Oh.
kidding
Onion.
me?
Oh, I thought you were.
No.
No?
No, no,
Crap,
no.
I love
Pickle?
onion.
No,
pepper.
please stop.
All
You're
right.
hurting everyone.
Sorry.
No, you slice it diagonally. Now, I grew up extremely impoverished, and we did not have a lot of access to fresh fruits and fresh vegetables. So that would not have been a feature on my Spam sandwich. However, just
Yeah, a potato sandwich.
meat, cheese, and
Well, I
bread.
actually like potato sandwiches. And
They really are
spaghetti
good,
sandwiches.
actually.
Spaghetti sandwiches too.
Oh,
with
I like
leftover
The
that.
key
spaghetti.
thing there
Oh,
is the diagonal slice. There's something about the
There-
diagonal slice.
Wait,
I can top that.
Even a grilled cheese sandwich.
Yeah,
diagonal
it is
slice.
the superior
Absolutely
I want you to
slice.
try
diagonal
this.
slice.
So
Wait, I
our
want you to
listeners
try
out
this.
there,
Because
you
you
know
can
what?
nibble off the corners.
Yes. So one thing I want to
Yeah.
hear, I want to hear feedback from our listeners. Which is the superior way to cut a sandwich?
I'll tell you right now.
In half or diagonal? No
Nope.
one.
I'll tell you right now. This is what I do for my little guy. all
Don't
the time.
say
If
pull
you
the
do
crust off
something-
because that's retarded.
No, you know how you
crust
slice
is the
it,
best part.
Slice it diagonal.
Yeah.
Okay, now you rotate the sandwich, slice it diagonal the other way.
Oh, you
now
quarter
you've
it.
made triangle
You
sandwiches.
quarter it.
So good. Try it.
That's good for
You'll have
kids.
equal
How's
amount
that
of spam.
different? How's that different
Well,
than
it's
just
two
two big
diagonals.
triangles?
Well, you have
Yeah,
four
they're
big
small
triangles.
triangles.
When you're going shopping, would you rather purchase 4 small triangles or 2 big triangles?
I mean, the same amount of spam.
No.
sandwich.
This
yeah.
is marketing.
All right.
People would rather choose 2 big triangles
I mean, if
because they
you're-
feel like they're getting a better value than they would be getting the 4 small triangles.
You
Literally.
Sure, you're just not being obtuse?
Yeah, she's up to.
I
we got
love
that
it.
one, yeah.
Love
That
it.
was good.
That was good.
Thank you very much.
That
Thank
was
you very much.
fantastic.
Want to hear another dad joke? I'll tell you another.
That was a math joke, not a
all
dad
That was a
joke.
math joke. And
If
I
you have a math
guarantee you,
joke, I'd like to hear it.
I do
not
not.
everybody
Well,
would have
that's
understood
unfortunate.
that.
I do
Shocker.
not. Oh, another country.
Thanks,
you're
Common
from.
Core.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
But yes,
Continue.
I agree.
Yeah. All right,
Triangular.
bigger- So you're saying bigger is better. That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying.
Always.
Oh my goodness.
Rocket.
Oh my goodness. Jeez.
Oh my goodness.
All right. I don't know how you get that out of spam sandwich.
You know what I had the other day?
Huh.
A company that we had to send out a couple of propellers for overhaul,
All right.
right, for one of our aircraft. And these are ones that, they're not fixed pitch. They vary. So they have to be overhauled so often. We sent them out. They brought them back the other day. And because it's Christmas, they also delivered with the propellers a big plate of a big, what do you call that?
A platter?
Platter. Thank you. Of cookies.
Oh, nice.
And everyone's like, oh, yeah, what's that? I don't know what that is. I'm like, I'll try it. Like, oh, that's gingerbread. That's good. Oh, I hate gingerbread. I'm like, well, it's good. More for me. But there were 2 in there that looked like, and I'm like looking going,
Spam
those,
cookie.
well, close.
Ooh.
Not really, but I like saying that.
Yeah.
Look, I figured were chocolate covered Oreos.
Oh, awesome.
And one of my guys said, that looks like that could be like 2 peanut butter Riches dipped in chocolate. I'm like, yeah, wait, who does that crap? I'm like, this is chocolate covered. Bit into that. I'm like, oh yeah.
What was it?
You take 2 Ritz crackers,
Oh, Ritz.
put a little bit of peanut butter in it because peanut butter on Ritz are great.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, and you make the sandwich,
Love peanut butter.
and then you dip the whole thing in chocolate.
Good idea.
Oh my God, the sweet,
Yeah.
the savory. I'd never even heard of it before, let alone had it. And I came home and immediately told PD, I said, hey, guess what we're making for our next party? And I told her, and she goes, oh, that sounds good.
All right.
But apparently they've been around for a long time, and I'd never heard of
I've
them.
never heard of them
What's it
either.
called? They call it something?
I
Ritz with
I
peanut butter
they're
dipped in
pe-
chocolate.
Yeah, I think that's what. I think
The
that is a
official title.
technical. Yes,
Yeah. Pinkies up, man.
does what it says on the tin.
Nice.
I'll stick
But
with my
anyway,
truffles.
I thought they were really, really good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I want to try that. I like that.
So
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah. So good dating story.
good dating stories.
Nightmare dating stories. God, I have so many.
I did want to move on to some other stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
when
do it.
when we were down in, and I told you I got a question for you guys. When we were down in
Florida.
thank you.
Yeah.
See,
I'm here for you, man.
I get these little.
I understand.
I think I don't know. I don't know if it's because I'm
Alzheimer's.
old or the
Yeah.
fact that my being ADD, my mind works faster than my lips.
Hey, look,
can
a squirrel.
move.
Oh.
Right.
Something shiny.
See?
She's obsessed.
All these damn
She's
distractions.
obsessed.
I'm
That's
trying to
right.
tell you something.
All right, focus. Need those blinders on like a horse.
We saw a movie
Okay.
down on City Walk. We saw the Ghostbusters Afterlife.
I want to see that.
Yes, you do.
I do.
Yes, you do.
I do.
Because it's like, it should be almost Ghostbusters
Don't ruin it.
Next Generation.
Don't ruin it for me.
I won't.
All right.
I'm not. And it's good. I thought it was very well done. Paid a lot of tribute to the original.
Nice.
I think everybody by now knows that the original guys make cameo appearances. Those that are left, Harold Ramis, of course, who is one of the writers of the original Ghostbusters. He
Yeah.
passed away several years ago.
Oh, rest in peace.
But he was still there. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Oh.
Okay.
Look
It's
forward
cool.
to it.
It's very, very well done. So last night, I'm just flipping around on the computer iPad.
Is that what the kids call it now?
That's what they call it, yeah. I'm gonna go home and flip around later.
Flip around,
Yeah.
shake weight.
Yeah.
I was not looking for pictures of rockets. Let me tell you that.
Liar.
She something bad to the bone.
Hasbro.
I love Hasbro. Yeah, Transformers.
Right.
G.I. Joe.
Robots in disguise.
And just the toy company.
Yeah.
They are
Huge fan.
putting
be for
out,
kids.
they're not really putting out. It was a crowdsourced thing. And I guess somebody asked them if they would make a proton pack.
Like a real one?
Well,
A toy.
Obviously,
Well,
it's not,
Doctor.
obviously, it's not going to tear things apart at a molecular
That would be a
level.
good toy.
A real one?
That would be
You
a
think
good toy.
Hasbro would be in charge of that, not NASA?
Get in on the
Not
cutting edge.
Bezos
Hey,
Stick
we had
Rocket
lawn darts as
Incorporated?
kids,
Yeah.
so
But
Cutting
no,
edge.
But no, not a toy.
Not a toy.
And what would be considered a collectible, like those Star Wars helmets that are sitting behind you.
Gotcha.
All right, on that, except that anybody can get those.
I got to let you know that during
This
the party, I will be wearing all of them at some point.
Hopefully by the next party I have, which at this point is going to probably be St. Patrick's Day, there should be a Boba Fett and a clone trooper besides.
I'll wear those
Awesome.
too.
Yeah.
Yes. So there should be at least 2 more.
I'm definitely going to be dancing to like some salt and pepper wearing one.
Oh, yeah.
Bum, bum, bum,
Bum,
bum.
bum, ba-da-ba-da-ba-wow.
Salt and pepper here,
And she
and
wonders
we're
why
in
she
effect.
can't get a
Want
date.
you to
Yeah, yeah.
push
Yeah.
it back.
She
Are
doesn't
you
wonder.
kidding me?
She
I'm an
doesn't wonder.
adventure.
Yeah.
I'm an awesome adventurer.
Yes, I know you are.
I just
That's why
don't date
love
boring
you
people.
so much.
That's the problem.
Yo, no, that's
You know
not
what?
a problem. That's awesome.
That's the thing with me because I collect stuff like that. I build lightsabers. Stuff like that. I wear the wizard robes and have wands and stuff. I was lucky enough to find Petey because she likes the same type of stuff. But if I had a date
You'd be a
currently
weirdo.
now at this
Yeah, you'd
point,
be a
I wouldn't
weirdo.
be able to find anybody
No.
because they'd be looking like, "How old are you?" Well, I'm, I'm 56, and they'd be like, "You act like you're 5," and I'd look at them and go, "Thank you."
Yeah. Well,
So the
They'd
problem,
mean it as an insult, and I'd say, "Thank you." You
the
know?
problem that I run into is either the men are too mature, they're ready to settle down and just die in a lazy boy recliner. Not my thing.
I mean,
No.
there's something to be said for that.
Or they act too young and they don't have like a bank account or a working bank card.
It's all about money with her. You notice that?
Oh, yeah.
You notice that? Yeah.
Well, I pay my own bills. I
Digger.
want gold digger.
What?
Gotta have gold to
I-
dig, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you're definitely not a gold digger. You
No.
do. You have your own
I mean,
place.
I have my own
you've
house,
worked
I have my
very
own car.
hard for it. You've
Yeah.
gone through
Yeah.
a lot of
Like
shit
I want
to
somebody.
get there.
I want
Yes.
somebody who has their own assets because
Absolutely.
the next dating
Nice,
story I'm going to
tight
tell
assets.
everybody. Nice
Uh-oh.
tight high
Tight
up
assets.
assets.
Yeah, you like that.
Better pass the measuring tape test.
Oh my
no.
goodness. I'm sorry. It wasn't
That was
all
my- I
about
meant for
money
height.
her.
That was
I
my
meant for
fault. I
height.
started that.
I meant
apologize.
for height, everyone.
Yeah, she meant for height, everyone.
Height, not
Yeah.
length.
Well, we're laying down
Or
at his
width.
height.
Oh my God.
No, but like or I find somebody who, isn't mature enough to have the bank accounts, doesn't have a working bank card. The next dating story I tell you guys, that'll be actually a feature of it, and his name is Cheap Ass Colin.
She. I already like this one already.
So anyway,
All right, I'm sorry.
so I guess somebody approached Hasbro and asked them if they'd want to make one, but like I said, not just a toy.
Yeah.
Something a proper collectible.
Right.
And they said if we knew there'd be a market for it. So somebody crowdsourced it. They made all of the goals
Yeah.
that
Immediately.
they
probably.
set out. And now it's open for pre-orders through tomorrow night.
Nice.
How many monies?
$3.99.
Jeez.
That's
$3.99
not bad.
money.
That's what I'm
That's
what I'm
not bad.
thinking. I asked Petey.
Uh-oh.
She said
Well, there are ghosts out there. So
she
she
said
It's not gonna bust
she
me.
said with some of the other collectibles and things I bought, she goes, that's actually not too bad.
Did you get wife approval for this?
But well,
sounds
she
like-
said, "What? Ask the guys today and see what they say."
I'm voting yes.
I mean, that's an easy
Pop-up
that's
vote,
an
yes.
easy vote for me.
As long as the bills are paid.
Wait,
you
how
have
big
my
is
blessing.
Yeah.
how big is this thing?
It would
Like a-
be
like a
what would be
big
life
back-
size.
That's
and,
what she said.
And it's based on the
Yeah.
one that was used in the movie, which is of
the
course
original.
basically
Like
the same as the original. And this one, there's a scene in the movie where
Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
no. I'm going
All
to
right.
tell you. There's
In
a
the
scene in one
original
where it's being
Ghostbusters?
there's a scene in the movie where one's being repaired and they take the lid off the what would be the cyclotron,
Yeah,
if
right.
you know anything
Yeah,
about
yeah, yeah.
actual
Mm-hmm.
proton accelerators.
I have.
We talk
Yeah.
about this like it's a real thing.
Right.
Like,
No,
you
proton
fools.
accelerators are, but they're miles of tunnels underground.
I know, but they're not
You
a backpack
can't-
thing.
Right. That's
yeah,
what I mean.
like this is a
But-
backpack version of that, which could not
Well,
exist currently.
they're making it so you can take it apart,
And
just like
check
in
it
the.
out.
I mean, you
Wow.
can. It's and it will have some lights and
Where
things.
would you put it? Let's see. You're hanging on the wall.
Well, because they made all
has
of
to be
their
in a
goals,
case,
one of
right?
the things that they are including is like a little stand.
Case. Oh, okay.
No, a stand to put it on. And then I just have to get like a little Lexan case to put it
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
But
Oh,
I
no.
was like, so what do you think? Do you
Oh,
think we
yeah,
have
yeah,
room for
yeah.
one of them
Yeah,
down here next to the
Definitely.
Harry Potter
I'll
stuff
make
and the
room.
Star Wars
Definitely.
stuff?
If not, you make room.
All right, all right. And then she already pretty much gave her blessing. Just see what everybody else thinks. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Okay.
Fully blessed
Blessed.
by the
All right.
rebel.
Yep.
By the rebel
So
priestess.
ordering.
Dr. Myke says.
And the great thing
go
is they're
for
going to
it.
start shipping them in March
Oh, nice.
of
Perfect.
2023.
Nice.
Perfect. 2023.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
Oh,
that's
Because
the way out.
these are going to be made one at a time. It's not.
Wow.
There are only going to be so
Quality.
many of them made. They're cutting off tomorrow night
Mm-hmm.
at midnight. Is their cutoff? Anyone that doesn't pre-order by that ain't getting one.
Wow.
It's not going to become a production item. That's what I mean. This
No,
would
you
be
gotta
one
get
of my
one.
most
Yeah, you gotta
limited,
get it. Yeah.
limited edition collectibles that I have.
Yeah.
This would be one that anybody can get any of these helmets. They're available. This is something that once they're out, nobody else will be able to get one.
I say get two, and then we'll raffle one off at Legacy Brewing Shop. Just saying. I would buy a ticket for that. I would buy a raffle ticket for that.
I
Think it over. Chew it,
I
chew it.
disagree with that idea.
What? Yeah, really?
Yeah,
You
I
won't-
don't think we're at a point yet where we could really get. I don't think we're at a point yet where we're
I was
raffle
banging on
ready.
the table. That was my fault. I'm sorry.
Where
And
we're
I'm always
raffle
yelling
ready.
at you guys for it. I apologize.
I know I touch everything. I'm horrible. Meanwhile, you're the
a
one over there
toucher.
making noise.
Oh, she's a toucher.
I'm a toucher.
Yeah.
I'm a giver and a taker,
I definitely get one. Definitely
and a
get
mover and
one.
a shaker.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Tonight I'm jumping
Yeah.
on and ordering that bitch.
Yeah, you gotta
Do it.
I'm
I'm gonna buy a brown
my,
jumpsuit just so I'm ready.
Then we'll bless it once it arrives.
my iPad somewhere. No, not this one. This one's strictly for the
I'll look.
for
I'll
the
look
show.
for it.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
there's
right
one
over there.
over there.
Grab that because I actually saved the page. I
To
can
see
pass
it?
it around to you
Yeah.
guys real quick. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Nice.
I forgot about that.
Nice.
But yes, go see the movie.
I will for sure.
See it in the theater because it makes a difference. Obviously, I don't even need to say this because they're all doing it now.
What?
Sit to the end of,
Of
the
course.
credits.
Yeah, yeah.
The end
All the way
of the
through. Yeah, I
credits. To wait till they bring the lights up.
will. Really?
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Because they have one Easter egg, then they go back to credits,
And then there's
and everyone else is leaving, and I'm like, you guys are idiots. Don't leave yet. I have a feeling. And I was absolutely right. She and I were the only ones left in there
Really?
when the second Easter egg came up.
That's awesome.
I always stay to the end of the credits because
me
I
too.
can't count how many times I've accidentally watched another movie from staying to the end of the credits. Some of those times I may have also fallen asleep. Irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
Yeah. They make really comfortable movie theater chairs now. Like they
Oh,
recline back and
Movie
everything.
theater?
This one,
Did you
this
go to
one
movie
had the
theater?
recliners.
Yeah. No,
Have you
they're-
been to
This one
movie
had the
tavern?
recliners.
What?
Oh my God.
Have you been to Movie Tavern? Oh,
No, I don't think so.
My God.
Is it that good?
Yeah. Let me see. I'm looking at it now.
And that's
Oh,
what they
dude.
were. But because they made their goals, they're making the wand and the cable for it. Besides,
This is going to be heavy. It's going to be heavy.
it's not going to be. It's not going to be just a cheap piece of plastic. No,
Yeah.
it's not.
That's good. I mean, honestly, for $400,
Yeah.
it better be pretty. It better be hefty.
pretty cool looking.
Hefty,
I like it.
hefty. Wimpy, wimpy, wimpy.
Nice, huh?
Rebel
Yeah.
just caught the glimpse of it. It's like, yeah. See what I
Nice.
mean? How can I say no to that?
You can't say no to that. That's part of your childhood.
And let's face it. Let's see.
Dang.
Basically, that's about the same as the 3 of those helmets sitting behind you right there.
Gotta get it.
Gotta get it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Full endorsement.
Yeah.
The wife said yes, so I know Petey won't come after me.
Yeah. Yeah, I approve. Just because PD approved, though. That's the only reason I approve. Yeah.
But the detail is
It's really, it's
fantastic.
very impressive, actually.
Yeah,
I
now-
gotta say, it's very impressive.
If I had a nickel for every time I heard that.
You'd have no
Be
nickels.
broke.
Wow. You'd still be broke and have to give change.
Jeez. I thought you guys were my friends.
We are. That's why
You
we're honest.
We are. You should have heard what we were thinking.
Yeah. It's good to have friends.
I've got friends
Yeah.
in low
Low
places.
So, yeah. All right.
Fully
so,
endorsed. You
Yeah,
got it,
but
bro.
Go see the movie.
I will.
Very good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very good.
Nice.
Thanks.
Oh, funny thing about it. There's a lot of.
Don't tell me.
No. I'm just going to say that there's a lot of things that are definitely like generational, like the next generation type of thing with it, including the fact that it was directed by Jason Reitman,
Okay.
who is Ivan Reitman's son.
Yeah, right. That's cool.
Okay.
I love
cool.
that.
Oh yeah, and Ivan Reitman, only because his son asked, and he had a lot to do with creating the first one too. Basically, was an advisor there on the set every day. But he said, "Nope, I'm not telling anybody what to do. This is your, it was."
Yeah.
But he was there to make sure that everything fit together with the original, and I think they did a very, very good job.
Oh, good.
A very, very
Been a
good
long
job.
time
I
since
really do.
I've seen a good movie that you're like,
Yeah.
that's awesome. All right, cool.
Yeah.
For real, I've seen a lot of good movies recently. What
the
I have a
theaters?
problem with is that they don't necessarily advertise them correctly, but I believe that's
I
a
agree with that.
discussion
Yeah.
for a different time. Because actually, 2 of the movies that I took issue with that did that, I thought, were Hereditary, which after the first time I saw it, I was very disappointed because the theater made it sound, the advertisements made it seem different than the impression that I walked away from that movie with. The second time that I watched it, knowing what I was in for and trying to watch it with an open mind, I was much more pleased with it, actually. I really was. It just took a little bit, and it took me ignoring how it was advertised.
Sometimes you have to see a movie more than once.
Yeah, I agree.
Like Lord of the Rings, I'm just saying.
I'm going
Like,
to. We are going to do it. I'm going to try it one more time.
All right.
I
The
told you I
extended.
would.
You got to watch the extended.
Oh,
The
really,
extended.
dude?
You watched all the Harry Potters. I'm just
All
saying.
right.
Harry Potter is
Fair
fantastic, though.
Then you have to watch Lord of the Rings trilogy, and then you got to go back and watch Hobbit.
Let's start one at a time.
Oh, and another movie that I had that same impression with, where it was very different how it was advertised in the film, was Passengers, which I actually wrote a review about because I was so pissed about after I walked out of the theater.
You don't want to piss off Rebel.
I sat in my car and literally wrote this because I was so angry.
Passengers?
Yes, I
What's
wrote
that
my
about?
Never heard
review
of
for
that one.
Passengers.
What's the other review?
So the movie, let me give the movie
This
premise
review brought
first,
to you
because
by
that way,
Rebel.
thank you.
Give
yeah.
a synopsis.
Let me give you a synopsis. So, a malfunction in a sleeping pod on a spacecraft traveling
I did hear about
to a
it.
distant colony planet wakes one passenger 90 years too early. So, in this
I did
movie,
hear about that. Yeah.
Yep.
it stars.
I heard it sucked.
Actually, you know what? Let me give you a different opinion about that. It starred Chris Pratt, who is a
I love Chris Pratt.
Yeah, great.
I actually do not like him.
You don't like Chris Pratt?
I don't. He's very heavily Christian, and he's very loud about that.
What's wrong with that?
I don't think
nothing
there's,
wrong with
You're
I don't
allowed
think
to
there's
have your
anything
fa-
wrong with
I think
that.
we have
but
so
I
many
think,
people that are anti, and they're loud about that. Why can't you have it the other way around?
Absolutely.
Here's why. Here's why it bothers me with Chris is because it's very hypocritical to the way in which he actually lives his life and the things that he actually does. I'm fine with people who are very loud about being Christian, whose actions align with their words. I have a problem with hypocrites no matter what their religious affiliation is, even if they're not religious at all. I don't like hypocritical
I
people.
can understand that.
Yeah. The other person who stars in it is Jennifer Lawrence, who I have a love-hate relationship
Yeah,
with.
me too. Same
Yeah,
thing.
She's very beautiful and she's
she's
very
Yeah, she
funny
is very
sometimes, but I
beautiful.
had enough.
I had enough of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my review is titled "One Plane, Two People, All the Feelings." it did not I was honestly genuinely furious when I wrote this, and it took a lot of editing for me to edit out all of the cuss words that I'd put in my initial review because I was furious. It was marketed as an edge of your seat sci-fi thriller, and really what it was is Chris Pratt's character is an annoying meddling twerp who couldn't stand being by himself, which is understandable because he's a terrible
he played Captain Kirk. Duh.
Doesn't mean he's great.
No, but annoying, meddling twerp. I mean,
Yeah.
it's sort of like his type of role.
Yeah, I think that
Just saying.
I think he's very much out of the water anytime he plays a role that requires somebody with intelligence to play it because he plays an idiot.
Oh no, that was
marvelously.
Chris Pine. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
that was
That's
my.
Chris Pine.
Oh, there we go.
I
Different
always
Chris.
do that. See, that's I always could. Yeah, Chris Pratt was Star-Lord,
Yeah, Star-Lord.
he was
which I
Star-Lord.
thought he does a good
I
job
think
with
he
that.
did too. And I think he's very
Parks
well
and
suited.
Recs, he's good.
Yeah, I think he's very well suited for roles in which he plays it's the lovable goof.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
More
I'm
of a
so sick
comedic
hearing-
role than a straight man.
Yeah.
Oh, there are a lot of people that can't do both.
I know, but then his agent should tell him, listen, you're an idiot. Don't take this role.
What does he get? The agent gets him a role. He gets paid for it.
He's going to
What does
continue
he
to
give
get
a- what does he
10%
give
of
a-
whatever.
Right. So what does he give a crap whether or not?
Because you want the person you're representing to be adequately staffed in films.
You would think. You would think.
But
What
anyway.
were the reviews? What were the other reviews? Was it a good movie?
The other reviews
Yeah, was
that I
it-
wrote?
Oh no, overall it was.
No, a lot of people were very. You know what? Let me actually look that up. I think a lot of people were very
we don't
angry.
have to go quite that. Just tell us. We don't have
I
to
felt
go in
very
there.
misled about that because it was supposedly supposed to be this edge on your seat sci-fi thriller, like I said, and I was very excited for a good sci-fi movie. It's been a while, I think, since we had a good sci-fi movie. The in vogue thing now is the supernatural, witches, so on and so forth. So to see a sci-fi film, I
And
was like, wow.
superheroes.
Well,
too,
yeah, the
big
Marvel
now.
thing, of course. So to see
Not so much
to see
DC because they suck.
yeah. So to see a sci-fi movie, I was very excited. I think it had Lawrence Fishburne in it as well.
I like him.
I can't remember I'm not 100% that it had him in it, but I think so. But I was genuinely very excited to see it. And then I sat in the movie, and the plot of the movie was essentially Chris Pratt can't stand being by himself anymore, which again is understandable. I wouldn't want to be alone with him either.
So it's Castaway in space.
Well, it's essentially Castaway, but there's other people on that same ship who are all going to this different planet. And this different planet...
But they're
there's-
still in hibernation.
Correct. They're still in hibernation. Well, Chris, after watching a 5-minute interview with somebody named Aurora, who's played by Jennifer Lawrence, decides
Wakes
to
her
make
up.
Aurora's pod malfunction. So she wakes up because God forbid he be left by himself and to deal with himself every day.
Who would want that? I want time alone. I need my own wing.
You know what?
Honestly, I can
It's-
see my wife saying, I'm waking his ass up. Screw it.
It's honestly, it's so funny to me because I find that to be a very fair representation of men who are actually single and actively dating, where they literally can't stand to be by themselves, so they're trying to trap someone else into it.
It goes back to her love life. It always goes back to her
I
freaking
found
love
it.
life.
I
doesn't
found
it
it relatable for those reasons. There's a lot of men out there who are wonderful companions, but the ones who are in online dating are usually about as deep as a pool, a very small pool, a kiddie pool in a backyard that's set out during the
With
summer
pee in it.
with pee and poop.
I don't know.
So range. Well, I watched that. What was the last movie I saw? The M Night. That guy. What's his
M.
M.
Night
Night Shyamalan.
Shyamalan. Ding
yeah,
dong.
it was the one on the beach in there.
I did not see that. I heard about it.
Do not watch that.
That's what I heard. I heard it wasn't that good.
I had to turn it off. I was so bored. Anyway,
Now, you mentioned Lawrence Fishburne.
I love him.
He was in a movie called The Matrix.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a new
Oh,
Matrix
that's right.
coming
That's
out.
coming out.
Yes.
What do you
It
think?
was
You're gonna watch
Lawrence
it? I tell you.
Fishburne. I'm correct. It was Lawrence Fishburne.
That was
I'm
one
so
of the
excited.
trailers we saw.
Are you gonna watch it?
That actually, I think I might go to see. I might go to see that in a theater.
Yeah.
Because I think that would be. I like the first Matrix movie.
The first one I liked.
The first one,
Yeah,
right?
me too.
That was it.
The rest were
They shoulda-
terrible. Yeah.
So I'm hoping that given some time, they were able to come back and make it.
Better. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I'm rereading my review about Passengers, and wow, I was really spicy when I wrote this.
Imagine that.
I was so mad.
I'll
Oh my
stick
gosh.
to my classic movies.
I'm waiting for Rust to come out.
Who's Russ?
Rust.
Oh, what's Rust?
Wow.
Oh. Oh.
Nobody?
Oh.
Nobody?
No.
Seriously?
Bueller?
Bueller.
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 I don't
name
know if that
sounds
movie's going to
familiar.
come out. Did Alec Baldwin shoot the rest of
There
the
you
cast?
go. There you go. Now she got my reference. It took. She had to type it up and look and search it.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that was the name of it. I didn't know that.
Yeah, nobody does, and no one I think ever will.
No, I think that movie's going to go into
that's pretty much
hibernation as
done.
well.
Wish he would.
I'll stick to my old black and white movies.
I'm going to stick to my documentaries. I've never watched
I
a
love
disappointing.
documentaries.
I've never
I love
watched a
them.
disappointing BBC documentary.
Doesn't have to
And
be
that's
BBC.
British Broadcasting Company for all you filthy-minded fools out there.
I think pretty much everybody knows
Yeah.
what BBC is,
I knew
especially
what-
when most
I
of our
knew what you
listenership
meant.
is over on the other side of the
Did
pond.
you?
I think they pretty
I
much
did.
know what BBC is.
Well, when Rebel says
What
it,
else
you
would
have
it
to
say?
wonder.
I
What
felt
else
like
would it be?
defining it.
Oh, well, we'll tell you off the air.
Oh my God! Am I really? Am I that
Wow.
stupid? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Oh
I'm
my
sure
God.
if I look on your iPad, it'll show up.
Dear God.
One
Wow.
of your
Dear
recent
God.
history.
All right, dude.
Recent history. Even.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
All right, well, we'll show you.
Okay.
I enjoy anything by Sir
BBC?
David Attenborough.
I have decided that he is my grandfather. He doesn't know about this, but I think he'll be fine with it.
He's got a fantastic
He is-
voice for
He is
narration.
truly an actual treasure. He is a genuinely good person. He is genuinely a champion for environmental causes as well as protection of wildlife and things like that. Like I just have genuine such admiration for him and his life's mission. He's brought so much information and knowledge and done so many decent, amazing things for the world.
Some people just have the voice for doing.
He
for
truly
doing-
does.
for
He
doing
really
that,
does.
yeah.
I love when he goes, even here. You're like,
Even here. What's really fun is I now know how to correctly narrate my experiences when I go out into the wild or to Walmart. Even here, the
I
animals
actually
are
have-
ferociously
I
fighting over the
actually have
Entenmann's.
done that when Petey and I have been out shopping. Not
loud?
necessarily at Walmart, but somewhere I'll go. Observe how the. 'Cause
My
I'll see somebody just-
My favorite place to do
and
that in
seems
is
to
Whole
wait.
Foods.
Yeah.
The creatures gather at
I've
the
never
watering
been to
trough.
I've never been to Whole Foods. I don't plan on going
Whole
to Whole
Foods
Foods.
is great. Don't buy anything there. It's known as whole paycheck for a reason.
Right.
But if you go in there, it's genuinely very fun to look at the people who shop there and watch them talk to themselves
Well,
about
it's-
organic grass-fed macaroni.
It's what Wegmans used to be before Whole Foods existed. That's
Yeah.
how people used to
I like
behave
Whole
at Wegmans.
Foods.
Now I actually like Wegmans because all the shopping at
I like
Whole
Wegmans.
Foods.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with or get along with the people that shop at Whole. I like the concept. I love it. Not the people. I go in there though, and I'm like, oh, look at the man as he bends down to examine the overpriced coffee.
well, I like the overpriced pork chops.
There's never a wrong price for meat.
Oh, here we go. There we go.
Not true.
No, good meat. Honestly, when you go to a butcher, it's
Oh, yeah.
priced,
Oh, yeah.
it's
Yeah,
priced
yeah.
the way it is. And you know what? To be honest, you'll never find a better cut of meat. You're not getting
Then
that
go-
same
no,
cut of
the-
meat
yeah,
at ShopRite
right,
or
right.
Walmart
Oh,
or Giant.
hell no.
Right.
I actually pop
Absolutely
over to
not.
Phillips to
Why?
go to Raff's.
say that.
Raff's.
wrong with
Don't
you.
say that.
What?
Don't say that.
Why?
Just say Phillipsburg.
Why?
Because I'm Scottish. And the last places I want is that dump being compared to Edinburgh. It's just not right.
It's one of the bergs.
It's very left. But I go over there for Raff's. It's fantastic.
Rats?
I
Rath,
love-
yeah, I know
love-
where that
They
is.
have a
Good
great
stuff.
butcher. They
Yes,
really are
yes, they do.
phenomenal. And when I lived in Quakertown, I
Fridge
actually had
Freeze
a
is
butcher.
pretty good too over that way, but it's more towards Regalsville.
But when I lived in Quakertown, Richlandtown area, I actually had a butcher right up the street from me. I really like that. I used to get like big pieces of like pork belly. I could go to town on a piece of pork belly. I did some crazy things in that kitchen. It was great.
With pork belly?
With pork belly. With all sorts of animals.
Oh, my.
Oh, yeah.
I know, man. I know. No.
I'm literally just talking about meat. I don't know where the rest of
You're
y'all
always
at.
talking about meat.
I'm always
Yeah, but
talking about
whose?
food. Well, I didn't give it a name, Mel.
Let's talk about cheap
Speaking of names, you just used my name.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to have to bleep that out,
Yes, we
Madman.
are.
I'll bleep that out.
Bleep it out.
Bleep.
We'll bleep out half of my segments, too. It's for the greater good of mankind.
No, those
Sorry,
we're leaving
everyone.
in because those are fun.
Sorry about that, everyone. You're not going to get better listening to me, but I've learned a long time ago I can't make anyone better, but I can make us all worse.
I mean, go with it. You know? Yeah,
The joys of
Smart
laughter.
goals are realistic
that's true.
and time-based.
Let's hear about Colin. I want to hear about him.
Cheap Colin.
Oh, I feel bad for him already.
You shouldn't.
Why?
Some people don't deserve sympathy.
All right, tell me about the date. So he calls you up and he says,
So he is another Facebook winner.
Is there any such thing as an actual Facebook winner?
I'm the winner because I don't have any venereal diseases from any of those experiences.
I think
So-
I'm the winner because I don't even do Facebook.
Yeah, you
the
are.
I'm
You
the
are
true winner
truly.
there.
You win.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So he and I talk, and we actually have a lot in common. Like, we like similar movies. We have similar points of view on certain things.
Was he an alpha?
No.
Okay.
No, he was definitely not an alpha. He wasn't even a beta.
All right, well,
It was more like a gamma or epsilon,
Yeah. So
possibly omega.
yeah.
so he and I
I
are
think better say
talking.
omega.
Maybe a lambda.
And one of the
Oh,
things.
not a lambda.
Lambda moo.
Oh my God, not a lambda. Wow, he did. Wow, he was bad.
He was something.
All right,
So
continue.
Was he an Omicron?
Omicron.
So he and
We'll
I are
get to that
talking,
later.
and we
We will.
decide, let's for our
And
first
by the
date,
way,
we
it's
both
pronounced Omicron properly.
Omicron. So we decide our first date is going to be at an escape room, which is fantastic
That's
because that's
cool.
really the
That
theme
I've
for
always
every.
I have always wanted to do
Well,
that.
me
It's
too.
really the theme for every date I've ever been on. How quickly can I escape?
Get out of
so
this.
this is actually one where I can get rewarded for doing so, rather than another person I have to block.
Right, this is practice for her. For
This is
future
really
dating.
I
Yeah.
got to keep my skills sharp on the
Yeah, let's
Facebook
go.
dating. So we go to the escape room. We actually went on 3 different dates because it was very successful. Actually, no, we
He
went
doesn't
on.
sound so cheap.
No, it was all right.
No?
It gets better. So
Because escape rooms, they're not a cheap date.
Yeah, it's
no,
expensive.
they're not. No, they're pretty decently priced. But I'd rather do that than actually go and sit down and eat. Like I only like to eat with
sad
people
I
I,
would
like.
go sit down and eat afterward.
No, I only
any
like to
date
eat with
to
people
me-
I like.
Any date to me involves some good conversation to try and get to know
Right.
the person,
Over
which
dinner,
means
usually.
sitting
Yeah.
down and having a meal.
I'm very picky about that. Like I'm not going to go out to dinner with somebody I don't already know that I like. I want a phone conversation beforehand because I'm not going to waste his time or my time.
Well,
I won't eat with people I don't like. I'm very finicky about
why
that.
you keep
But
putting
how do you know if whether or not you like them unless you're talking
Because
to
if we've had, I always have a phone conversation ahead of time because
Oh.
I need to know what level of makeup they're worth, if any.
them? Okay.
So, am I breaking out the Maybelline or is it the Estee Lauder kind
Right,
of
yeah.
night?
Gotcha.
So we went on a couple of dates, and he was somebody who I genuinely considered being in a relationship with. We had a
Just
lot
like me,
in common.
am I using the diesel cologne or just some?
Or the nutsack.
Actually, I was going to say Old Spice, but
Oh, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Speaking of which, she's got a nice. Rebel's got a nice sack.
Does she?
Yeah, look at that. That's a
It's a
It's
respectable
a sizable
sack.
sack.
I don't know what she's got in her sack.
It's a little
but
medicine bag. It's actually
that's-
called a medicine bag that she's been wearing around her neck.
Are you taking medicine?
Nice sack.
Or-
It's medicine I give to others.
Oh.
Whether they
7
want it or
years of
not.
medicine. All right.
Anyway,
continue.
go ahead.
Sorry.
So, the way that his life was presented to me was that his dad lived with him and that he was taking care of his dad. And I thought that was really genuinely great. I like people whose values include family. I consider that to be a really good marker. I consider that to be really important. My family's super important to me, so I don't want to have like an argument
I
with
spent
anybody about
7
that.
years outside of my normal
In Tibet?
profession taking care of my aunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
So
For
family
them
is
because
a great value.
She needed it. Yeah.
So we were having a phone call one time. And we were planning our next date, and we both really like comedy. So he suggested we go see a comedian that we both enjoyed in Philly, and I was like, "Fantastic, that's great. Go ahead and pick up the tickets, and we'll definitely go," because it was his date that he suggested.
Right.
And it's true because I have noticed that when I was dating, of course I didn't do online dating, but most women really do like, not necessarily an alpha male, because look at me, I'm definitely not that. No, not lambda
Oh
either. yeah.
my God,
Holy shit.
Sorry.
dear Lord!
Anyway,
Excuse me.
but
bless me.
they do like when you pick them up for the first date that you pretty much have an idea. They don't want you coming and picking them up for the first date. Correct me if I'm wrong, ladies. And going, well, what would you like to do tonight?
No, if he
no.
doesn't
Yeah,
have a
he can't
plan
do that.
before
they
he's coming, he's
want
not picking me up.
someone that says,
Yeah.
and even if they say this is what I have planned, is this okay with you? And then give them a chance. They still don't mind. They don't mind that.
Yeah,
right?
no, I
but
like
don't
that.
show up there going, I don't know. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the fact that, I see the fact that he at least had a plan.
Yeah.
Absolutely
I find
a plus.
that very, like, he would
Absolutely.
be very quick to put together a plan, which I really like. I'm somebody who's a planner. I don't have a problem pulling my weight in a relationship with planning. I'm very romantic. I like to plan things. I don't have a problem with this. But I wanted somebody who would also give me that same energy, because I refuse to be in a relationship in which I'm the one putting in 90% of the work. So the fact that he had a plan was very attractive to me. The fact that, his dad lived with him was very attractive to me. I like people who, make and take care of and keep their commitments. I find that particular characteristic to be something I value.
It speaks to the character of the person.
Correct. So we were having a phone call planning this date, and during the course of this phone call, it came out that his bank card did not work, and that, in fact, his paycheck was not going to his bank account. And then it came out that his paycheck was more of an under-the-table type of pay thing, and that he'd always been working under the table. Now, on first glance, that doesn't sound bad, but when you think about how someone's going to retire, when you think about the fact that he's 36, when you think about the fact he has no 401k, he hasn't paid into Social Security, that means long-term, I'm going to be the one, if I agree to this relationship, I'm going to be the one responsible for our retirement.
Yep. No,
I don't have a problem pulling my weight. I have a very hefty 401k. I'm somebody with a plan. I'm somebody with good credit, but I also don't want someone who's going to be an anchor around my ankle. I refuse to deal with that. Also, during that phone call, it came out that he had not kept a bank account for many years, and he was extremely shady as to why, which led me to, of course, come up with my own theories and wonderings. What debt are you running from that you're not dealing with? How bad is your credit? Would we ever be able to buy a home together, a car, a future?
Right.
Like it or not, credit is the future, and you need to have adequate credit in order to plan for the important moments of your life or to make major moves, such as buying a house, buying a car, so on and so forth. It also came out that his father did not live with him. He lived with his father.
Tomato.
No. I
don't have a problem with somebody who, hey, the pandemic hit, they lost their job. Stuff happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've been in enough situations to know how very quickly a situation can go sideways. And I don't judge someone for that at all. But the fact that that was not immediately disclosed, the fact that that was sort of hidden from me, the fact that, he didn't have a working bank card even.
But you guys have already been out on dates already?
We'd already been out on dates. But he paid
Did
for
he
things
pay for
with
everything?
cash.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, the first date, the escape room, you have to book it with a card. And I asked him, I was like, Colin, how did you, his name isn't Colin, but that's the name we're using for this
That's
segment.
good. I appreciate it.
Yeah. No, I don't feel like being sued by this guy. He finally gets a chance at getting some money and it's mine. Not today, Colin. Back it up. But, I asked him, I was like, Colin, how'd you pay for the escape room? Because I know you can't pay for those in cash. You have to book it with a card. And he said, I used my boss's card.
That's shady.
And
That's
right
shady.
there,
That's shady.
right there, I
He'd have
was
been
like,
better off to say, my card worked at that point.
yeah, well, he told me
anything else.
at the time. He did not
Because-
tell me when we initially talked about the bank card. He did not tell me he booked with his boss's card. He told me his card had a problem. Now, I've had my card stolen
Which
before.
I've had that.
Yeah.
But when Petey and I were down in Florida last week, the first, we went down actually on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah.
And I paid for a couple of meals. I paid for the meal and stuff on Thanksgiving Day, breakfast the day after, lunch the day after, dinner time when we went out to dinner. My card wouldn't work.
I thought somebody stole it.
So, well, that was it.
Yeah.
I called up the next morning because it was too late. I called up Saturday morning, and they're like, "Well, where are you?" So I'm down in Florida. I said, I forgot to go into the app or not the website for the credit union and put a travel advisory on the card.
Yeah. So they canceled it out of
Right.
concern for
Well, they didn't
finances.
cancel it. They just paused it.
Yeah.
They just paused it. So I was able to prove them that that, and they're like, okay, no problem. Your card's back up.
Yeah.
So stuff happens.
Yeah.
I've had mine in the past. Other ones compromised, and they say, "Well, did you put?" No, that wasn't me. He says, "Yeah, well, not got to
I've
come
had
and
that
get a new
happen
car."
to me as well.
It happens.
So I didn't
It
think to
happens.
question because stuff happens. I've had
Right.
stuff happen to me, and I never thought
That
to
was
follow
my
up
point,
with him.
yes.
It never would have occurred to me to follow up and be like, "Hey, did you get your card fixed?" Because I'm just assuming, like a regular schmegular adult, that he dealt with that.
Right.
There was a lot of other things that were a problem as well. That phone call was really an illuminating phone call because after I got off the phone with him, I immediately called my best friend Tammy and I was like, hey, I need to get the hell out of this.
Is that actually her name? Or
yeah, her name is actually Tammy. No, she's been my friend since middle school.
Mind.
I truly, I absolutely love her. She is my sister from another mister.
Oh.
So truly, she's honestly she's honestly family to me. Like she's one of the best people I've ever met. But I called her and I was like, I need to get the hell out of this relationship because this entire thing, this last phone call with Colin was a nightmare. It was like watching a train crash, but the crash keeps getting worse and you just can't look away from it.
Yeah.
So not only did he live with his dad, not only did he not have a working bank account and refused to put money in a bank account for reasons he was also refusing to illuminate on, he came across as very Peter Pan-esque. Like his big thing was
flew around and stuff.
No, I would have been amused by that.
Yeah.
No, he very much seemed like somebody who did not want to grow up.
Oh.
Now
There's nothing wrong with that.
Doc, you've known me for years.
Yeah.
I am a very goofy person. I'm a very silly person.
Yes.
But I'm also a person who knows when to have my stuff together.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason you guys are fine working with me still. It's because you know when push comes to shove, I'm going to more than pull my weight. Mm-hmm. That's always been the way that I am. I'm very, very funny, but I know when to have fun and when to be serious. You can't buy a house being Peter Pan.
Right.
So looking at all of that, I was like, you know what? This is a situation in which I'm very quickly going to be resentful because this person refuses to grow up in spite of being 2 years older than me. They definitely do not have credit, or if they do have credit, the credit's very bad. They have absolutely no savings, no retirement, no SSI. And this is stuff, especially in my 30s that I'm thinking about because I want to make sure that I'm set so that way I'm not a weight on my child's life. Mm-hmm. I want to make sure that I'm good for me. And I looked at that and I'm like, this is not going to work out. So when I called him to break up with him. I was like, oh, hey, hun, can I give you a call? And he was like, absolutely. So I called him and I'm like, yeah, I have a lot of stuff.
See what she did there? Hey, hun. I'm going to call. So he's not knowing.
Well, because at
he's
that point,
walking into the trap.
At that point, we had actually established a relationship and I wasn't willing to drive up. He lived an hour north of me. I wasn't willing to drive up, but I felt like it warranted a phone call. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 15, 20 minutes away, you drive over. Yeah, you do it
then you
in
sit
person.
down. Yeah, but this is an hour.
Over an hour, it's like...
And he lived up north near Scranton in the middle
of
of nowhere.
You also know it's going to be a long drive back home.
And not even just that, but like if I could
everything,
just break up with him and then go to a nice restaurant, I would have. But there was nothing nice up there.
Casinos on the way back.
Not my thing. But
I'm not a casino person either, no.
So sad.
it just doesn't, it doesn't do anything for me. And I'll tell you why
I
specifically.
like the atmosphere.
Yeah, the
But
atmosphere
I'll go and have a nice meal at one of the restaurants, something like that. But walk around and gamble,
Yeah, not my thing.
I'd rather buy another collectible. I'd rather buy another Harry Potter thing to hang back here. You know, it's
Ravenclaw forever.
Yeah.
So when I broke up with him, I let him know, like, hey,
Gryffindor.
it's a bunch of, it's work stuff, and I have a great, unique
It's not you, it's
opportunity.
me. You gave him
no,
that-
I refused
that
to
crap.
tell him why I was breaking up with him because I wanted to make sure those red flags were bright and present for the next woman he tried to kind of trap.
Oh, so he couldn't learn from his mistakes.
Correct.
Gotcha.
That was
evil.
deliberate.
That's thoughtful.
I love it.
That's
Yeah,
thoughtful.
awesome.
It
For
wasn't.
the next person, yeah.
First off, I refuse to acknowledge that as evil. I genuinely believe it.
I don't
What
think
I
it's
was
evil,
doing
no. I don't think
was
it's evil.
was something for a favor for future women.
Future women. Because
Because the thing is sometimes
or a
you
man,
just see a
maybe
red.
he turns. Who knows?
Could be.
Yeah, I
No,
don't
I
judge.
asked him.
Yeah, I do.
But I honestly, with some people and their red flags, there's no learning from them. Like, he wasn't going to magically be somebody who got a real job.
Yeah, but maybe he needed the voice of reason for you to be like, this
I don't
is
need
why.
to be anyone else's adult. And the whole reason I was breaking up with him is because I didn't want to be his mother.
Yeah.
I don't need to be his
I can
mother.
That's all you had to say.
Yeah. No, it just,
Yeah.
I don't want
No,
to
Yeah, you can
I
definitely
didn't want him.
understand that.
He wasn't magically going to be someone who grew from that experience. I didn't want him to learn how to better hide the red flags from other people. True. So I just decided, hey, I have a work thing. Sorry, can't. Peace and love.
Wow.
I was very nice about
I
it.
have a work thing for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
For the
no,
rest of my life.
I
I'm not
forget what
gonna-
I told him. I made it up though, and
Not gonna
then
make it.
I didn't
Oh, I'm
block
busy
him.
that day.
I'm
What
busy
day?
forever.
All of
the
them.
days.
All of the days.
Yeah.
So I didn't immediately block him, but then I got this weird little diatribe thing from him. He was apparently very mad that I broke up with him and felt the need to write me multiple paragraphs.
Oh, wow.
He was very upset. Now, he had an Android because, he just, I guess, preferred that phone, or it was cheaper for Mr. Budget Bob or whatever.
Wow.
Cheap ass Colin.
I just prefer them over the Apple.
Some people do, yeah, but I truly believe in his case it was just this
And
is
you
the
know me,
cheapest
I
phone.
love Apple products. I
Yeah.
love my MacBook. I love my iPads. But the phone never impressed me, man. When it comes to the phone,
I like the
still
phone
like
because it's very compatible with most of the stuff I do
well,
on it.
and you would think that I'd like that too with my OCD, but I don't know.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But I knew that because he had an Android phone and I had an iPhone that he wouldn't see a read receipt. So then I blocked him on everything. And then he emailed me.
Oh,
He
he's getting no
continued to
response.
email me.
Well, you broke his heart.
I didn't get a chance to say anything. No, you did, cheap ass. And you began your little diatribe with, I'm not mad. You're clearly mad.
Yeah.
Go sugar mama someone else, dude.
Wow. Wow.
Okay.
Well, the one thing I've learned.
Tell us, Kitty. What have you learned in your?
She's learned a lot.
I've learned a lot. My publisher used to tell me I will neither feed nor clothe another dick.
Wow. What is the
Fair
theme
enough.
with these shows?
Because the thing is like if I found the right guy, like no, all jokes aside, if I genuinely found a good man,
It wouldn't matter.
It would.
No,
it
it
would
wouldn't
make a
matter.
big difference. It
No,
truly
wouldn't
would.
matter. If you
Because
found the right man, it wouldn't matter what their story was.
Yes, it would.
No, it wouldn't.
Yes, it would.
No, it wouldn't.
Yes, it would.
No, it wouldn't.
Would you take on a woman who has an enormous amount of debt, knowing that
No.
she would eat and? Okay,
Nope.
thank you.
I'm different though. I'm different.
No, you're not. Everyone's
I'm only
different.
28, but I have a long history of
You're like
dating.
100 at
I'm
least.
not 100. Stop with the snorking. All right, birthday. All right, 29. So
No, but like for me, like honestly, I know how I am in a relationship and I know
Yeah.
how I love.
Yeah.
My love language is all of them, both giving and receiving.
yeah,
I'm extremely loyal.
that's my. Oops.
Madman.
Oh, wow. I just realized what you meant by that. That's so wrong. Damn, dude.
Woo!
Wow, poor madman.
I'll cut that whole thing out.
Yeah, I think you will.
No, but I genuinely know how I am in a relationship and I know what I bring
Bumps
to the
it to
table.
windy. Go burgle your head.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay.
No, but I know how I am in a relationship and I know the love and the
Should be a zipper
dedication.
sound at some point.
Ooh, yes.
I'm looking at finding all the different sound effects.
I love it.
I'm actually
Yeah.
I haven't found a good site yet where I can, and I'm willing to buy them. You know, and have the good effects that used to use back in radio. I'm trying to find one where I can do that because believe me, there's so many effects that I can use
Yeah.
throughout our conversations. Make no mistake about it.
Yeah. So, like, the thing is, though, is like I honestly know how I am in a relationship and I know what I bring to the table. I am not afraid to love the right person in the way that they deserve, but I am very worried about
Getting
wasting
it
another.
equally back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Relationships are not transactional, but they should be reciprocal.
Right.
I'm a very firm believer in that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to keep eye for an eye, but if I'm constantly bending over backwards to meet your needs and you're not even meeting one of mine,
Proper relationship really
Yeah,
is give and take.
it really
Absolutely,
is.
yeah.
And I want
And
someone
you're
who
right,
is
not what
not transactional,
transactional,
but
right.
reciprocal.
But you're absolutely correct.
I preach about this a lot because
I like the way
Yeah.
you said that.
Because a lot of men
I've always thought
especially-
that, but never knew how to put it correctly into words. You got exactly the way I feel. I like
have a lot
that.
of male friends and they'll talk to me and they'll be like, well, what are you looking for? A transactional relationship? No, but I want to be loved as much as I love someone.
Right.
I want someone to do for me what I am willing to do for them. I want someone who brings adult skills to the table. I want somebody.
That's why I'm so lucky. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you and Petey are so super
Yeah.
well matched that honestly, you guys are one of my relationship models. I look at the
Aw.
relationship you
Thank
guys
you. I
have,
didn't
and
know
I'm
that.
like,
That's sweet.
Well, you
Thank
really
you.
are. Like, you guys I see you guys together,
Just
and you
thank me. It's
genuinely
okay.
fit. Thank you, Mommy.
You were there.
Yeah.
Well, you're the one that arranged the meeting.
Yes, I
You
did.
were there the night we met, and
Yep.
at the time I was actually
With trailer
with
trash.
some. Okay, well,
I think that's complimenting her.
actually,
From what I've heard about
that's
that,
gonna say,
that's a
in a
compliment,
way,
yeah.
that's actually a step up. But that was a bad night, and I went out, and she, meaning the one I was with, was in a bad
Leave,
mood.
no one
like,
likes you.
Like, fine, I'll go home. Find your own way home. I'm like, well, my brother was there, Kitty was there. I'm like, okay.
I'll find my own way home.
And we were only about 2.5 miles from the house. So either way,
Yeah.
I was getting home that night. It wasn't a problem. I had good shoes on.
But I've talked to a lot of guy friends where they're like, "Oh, you want
That
things
was
to
when
be."
I met. Yep, I met your cousin, and we went out. We ended up all of us going out that night. We sat there at the diner, which is now sadly closes at 6 every night.
Yeah.
but when it was still open all night long. And we were there till 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And we laughed just like I laughed.
Yep.
Well, for these guys, for our listeners
The
last
last show.
week, for us about a half an hour ago, we just all laughed so hard.
Oh, it was hilarious.
And I guess she told you that night that I'm going to marry him.
Really? I didn't know that.
She said
Yeah.
that I met my future husband.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
her
That's
words were,
awesome.
"I met my future husband."
That's cool.
And she was
I
right.
And
I know. I
and
performed
I
the
liked her
ceremony.
right away,
Yeah.
but I wasn't thinking that way because I never think I'm going to get that lucky.
Yeah.
That's just the way I always like. When it comes to relationships and things like that, I always assume I'm not worthy of whatever I think might be happening. That's just the way I was brought up through different other things.
And I knew
So
that
I
you were
wasn't
going to
thinking that
propose to
way.
her before she did.
So yeah, she knew that night. So yeah, and when
That's
we have,
awesome.
we've been
Yeah.
together ever
But
since.
I have a lot of guy friends, and I've talked to them, and they're like, "Oh, you want things to be transactional?" No, I genuinely want to love
I
and
think that's
to
what
be
everybody
loved.
wants. That's what everyone's looking for.
I agree, but a lot of people have a hard time understanding that love is a verb. Like, I do not have emotional permanence. If someone tells me they love me and they do not show it, I'm not going to believe them.
Understandable.
You know,
Right.
I'm the type
That's
of
an
person
action.
where
Right.
when I care for people, you know it because you are going to be a call I pick up. I do not pick up the phone for very many people. I pick up the phone for 5 people. You guys
and I'm not
are-
one of them.
Yeah,
by the
you
way.
are.
No, I know.
You absolutely are.
I'm just kidding.
My son, you guys, and one other person. That's literally everyone else. I'm like, can this be a text?
Yeah.
I genuinely don't. But you guys know, like anytime, day or night, I'm
Yeah.
gonna, unless I'm in the shower or something, you know, and you guys know because I'll call you back too. I'm not a phone call person unless it's somebody I genuinely care for. But the limits to which I'm willing, or the max that I'm willing to push myself towards for people that I love is literally limitless. That's just how I am. I do not know how to half-assedly love
And
someone.
See, in a way, it's kind of a little bit the opposite of me.
How so?
I'd rather talk to somebody on the phone, especially as I get older. I'm like, someone texts me, I'm like, first thing I got to do is find my goddamn glasses.
Yep.
All right. Then I got to see if these fat little thumbs are going to actually do what they're supposed to do. And then I have to bitch at autocorrect because it keeps telling people that I'm trying to tell them to go duck themselves.
You mean something very different.
Yes,
that does
I
not
do.
involve poultry.
Yes, I do. It has
just thought
nothing
You
to do
definitely
with
don't want to be in
poultry.
the MMSs.
Okay. So
I just thought you liked animals.
I'd rather,
He's passionate.
whole time.
He's passionate about ducks.
Yeah.
but I would rather speak to somebody. And you guys, I text a lot to because I know you guys are okay with, and I actually will do that because I love you guys enough that I will take the time to do it.
See, I know you don't like texting. That's why I
Right.
don't text you. I'll call you because I know you
But if
value
you
that
have
more.
to,
Yeah.
I will gladly reciprocate with the text
If I'm-
because there are places you can't talk.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's like it's so quiet you can't talk. You gotta, or it's so damn noisy you can't
You
hear.
can't
so
hear
all
anyone. Yeah.
and I understand that.
Yeah.
And for those I will do. But for an actual mode of conversation,
Yeah, no.
you know, I think one of my ancestors, Alexander Graham Bell, who was Scottish, he did not invent the telephone just so we could backslide into basically sending text messages like Morse code. The idea was so you could actually speak. So for me to use my phone to send messages, it's just like, well, why have the phone? But that's just a stupid way I think.
I personally like texting. It's more in jive with me, just simply because sometimes I have a hard time with the attention span of having a conversation. I do struggle with that. I do definitely have
I know,
ADHD.
I know that.
It's difficult for me to do, and it's
and
not
I do,
because
but mine's kind of the opposite.
Yeah, that's
my
totally
way is
fair.
the opposite. Yeah.
For me, it's easier because then also I'm able to scroll back up and see what we were talking about and actually stay on task. I have a hard time verbally doing that because sometimes someone will be talking to me and I'm thinking whether or not in that one Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, if those HAB units that they had on Mars actually cooked the people inside of it. And it's really hard to explain the 20 different thought processes I'm having during
And
the
I
conversation.
understand that perfectly. I really do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a niche reference.
True Lies. I am a huge fan of those movies, though.
Yeah,
Those
me too.
80 movies with
Yeah.
Arnold, like
Arnold.
Predator, Arnold.
Arnold.
We should have the robot do his Arnold impression.
Does he do a good one?
I literally have called him at work and been like, do the Arnold. And put him on
Really?
speaker. He's
I
fantastic.
need your clothes, your glasses, and your motorcycle.
Get to the helicopter.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to hear the robot say that.
No, it's amazing.
dear.
He's
Yeah.
very good at it. He genuinely is.
Have
Yeah.
to check it out. We'll put him to the test. Call him up right now. No,
I need your glasses.
Yeah.
I need your glasses. Oh, your jacket.
That was Terminator.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
and
Terminator.
and your maid.
Hey, stop! Too soon.
Too soon, dude. That was like 15 years ago. I mean, what the hell? I think everybody kind of knows that by now.
It's terrible. Terrible.
Unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
All those movies back then with him was awesome. Twins, Kindergarten
Predator.
Cop. Yeah, Predator's
Twins
one of my
was so
favorite.
damn fun. It's funny when you get these action guys.
Yeah, doing stuff
Doing
like
That
that.
comedy.
and all of a sudden you realize they have the range enough to
Yeah.
do comedy.
And he was very
like Vin
unique
Diesel,
for his
you know,
genre.
he can The Rock. Those guys
Vin
can actually
Diesel
do.
can do comedy?
Vin Diesel was in.
Tooth Fairy or something. Like
That was The Rock.
That was The Rock.
But he was in something where he played.
He played the nanny.
Right.
The Manny.
That's it. The nanny. Yeah.
The Manny.
The Manny.
Right. Well, okay. Whatever.
I just thought he was eye candy and that was it.
No,
I don't
no.
watch
He
his
actually,
movies
he
for
actually
substance.
has
I watch
some.
his
Yeah.
movies.
No.
I just watch him because he's yummy to look at.
Yummy.
He's not a bad looking guy.
Have
I
you
can
not
give
watched
you
a
that.
movie just because someone hot was in it?
No.
Don't lie.
Michelle
No.
Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
No.
How many of her stupid movies
All
have you
of them.
seen?
I've
Yeah,
seen
there
them
you go.
all.
Boom.
Just because she's hot.
I think she. I don't think she's bad looking. You know. But
She's hot.
I can't say that I've ever gone to see a movie just because a certain person.
I
is
don't
in
pay
it.
for the movie. I wait until I get it for free.
Oh, well.
Oh, and speaking of hot chicks,
Uh-oh.
and she is.
Ooh.
No, you got to go see Ghostbusters because you're not going to believe who the one character is.
All right,
How
don't
hot
tell
on
me,
a
don't
scale
tell
of
me.
1 to 10?
Don't tell me.
Well,
Don't ruin it. Don't
Like,
ruin
is it like
Back-
Gal Gadot where, you
And
know, I think I
remember-
might not be straight looking at her? Or is it like,
I'll tell you what, Gal Gadot. Oh my God, that
I would marry
woman
her.
is gorgeous.
I would marry her straight up. Gal,
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Oh, yeah, she's hot.
She
Yeah,
is
super
straight
hot.
up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Super hot.
and the way she carries, I mean, it's the whole package. It's not just her looks.
No, it's the fact
way
that
she
she's incredibly
carries herself,
intelligent.
she
She's-
will kick
Yeah.
your ass. As part of the Israeli army.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Once
that's
a-
hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
That's
looked at
super
her
hot.
and I'm like, maybe I'm bisexual.
Ah, see?
I mean, for Gal Gadot, I'll be whatever I need to be.
Well, see,
Hey.
everybody...
Want me to be Arnold,
for her,
baby?
for her, I'd be bisexual because I would actually pay for that.
wait,
Yes.
You,
Bisexual.
Thank you. You guys are the. I use that all the time, but you guys are the only ones that actually get that joke. I had a guy I used to work with up until last year, and he moved on somewhere else. He goes, "I think you're bisexual." I looked at him straight in the eye. I said, "I have never paid for sex in my life." He stood there like, "What's that got to do with anything?" I'm like, "Exactly." And the other guys are laughing their ass off because they actually got
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Oh, she's
Yeah,
that's a
dreams.
smoke show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I would marry her
Absolutely.
in a heartbeat.
Really? Mm-hmm. What if she was cheap ass? Then what?
What do you mean cheap ass?
What if she was cheap?
I'm fine paying for Gal Gadot.
Oh,
You
now
wanna eat
you're
a- you
fine.
want short rib,
Now
baby?
you're fine.
What would
Pay
you? You
for
want
it.
the short rib on a silver platter?
What
You got
about,
it.
see, it's no good for Colin, but it's
Cheap
okay.
ass Ellen wasn't as hot as Gal Gadot.
All right, that's fair.
That's. I mean, hey, there is.
Double standard rebel. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We just got to the heart of it. That's all.
I don't think you're going to be cheap doctor for Gal Gadot.
I would not.
No, you'd serve her short rib on a silver platter too.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, you would.
Yeah, maybe.
You'd
know
be like,
who-
would you like for me to get in the ball? I'll roll over here.
Yeah, I would try to roll up the stairs for that.
You know what? What the? Hey, it's the Madman. If you liked Rebel's story there, well, you're going to want to join us again next week to hear the rest of it because we did a second half to this show, and you're going to really want to hear that.